Welcome to today's presentation on movement and the mind. My name is Wale Adesamoye, the owner and founder of Precision Performance Coaching. I will introduce myself on the next slide, but welcome to today's session. As mentioned, my name is Wale Adesamoye. I'm the head coach of Precision Performance Coaching. We're an online coaching company based in Southwest London. I'm also an IFBB Pro bodybuilder, elite competitor, and 20 plus years of coaching men and women over the ages of 30 plus. Built Precision Performance Coaching during COVID from the ground up, and I never stopped learning, still training today, and still testing myself. Hormone health and body composite specialist is what I specialize in. I'm also a London firefighter. I've been a London firefighter for the past 26 years. So let's get into today's presentation. That's enough about myself. So let's different jobs, same nervous system, and that's the fact. No matter what job we do, we still have the same nervous system. Shift workers running on broken sleep, that's what we do as firefighters, firefighters and first responders, carrying actual stress home with them. That's something that's quite common. When we see dramatic incidents, we go home and we're carrying that stress home with us. I can talk firsthand about incidents that I've attended, and I thought I was okay at the time. We go back to the fire station and we sit around the mess table. We joke and laugh about the incident, but there's only so much you can take. Your cup's overflowing, and after 26 years for me, I feel like my cup's now overflowing, and that's something that I always think that it's important that we talk about some of the incidents that we see. Executive and operator is always on roll. Basically, when I mean that you're always on roll, is just that you're always trying to please someone, even in your role. So even at the fire station as a sub officer myself, I'm always trying to make sure that the job is done. The firefighters are doing their job, trying to please the station manager. You feel like you're almost always trying to serve someone, making sure the station diary is tidy. So all of the stresses that you are doing basically is very, very. It's all stressful. It adds up. Everything adds up. Then you got parent juggling loads, with no recovery window. Some of the girls and guys that I work with, they go home and they're having to, look after their child while their partners are going to work. And the partner tend to work on days where the childcare is been done by the firefighter, or by the father, or the mother who's a firefighter. So juggling that, and the kids don't want to hear daddy's tired, or daddy doesn't have the energy, daddy's been on night shift. Kids don't know, they don't care, all they want is your time, and they remember things that you say to them. If you say daddy's tired, daddy doesn't have the energy, they're going to think daddy or mummy's always tired, daddy or mummy's always never got the energy for me. So always remember what you say to your kids is very important, and this is why we're going to talk about movement and exercise. you know Anyone whose body is tired before the day even started. Sometimes I've been there where, you go to bed and you're sleeping and you wake up feeling like you haven't even been to bed yet. So it's one of those things where you really got to think about limiting your consumption of caffeine, making sure you drink at least a liter of water for every 25 kilograms of body weight, which is 55 pounds. This is so important, and making sure you hit your protein target as well daily. And what I would say for protein target is you want to be hitting at least a gram of protein for every pound of body weight. So whatever you weigh in kilograms, times it by 2.2, and that's your protein target for the day. And that's what you want to try and hit. And if you can't hit anything else, focus on hitting your protein targets every single day. Protein target and hydration target is two of the most important things that you can do to keep yourself, functioning at your best. Again, exercise is the most unprescribed mental health intervention we have. You don't have to do that much. A lot of people think, you have to do a lot. There's 30% lower depression rate, 1.5% in anxiety rate, and 20 minutes is enough to shift, your stress. It's 20 minutes a day. That's all you need to do. That's all you got to think about. 20 minutes a day. What can I do 20 minutes a day? Because a lot of people think they got to go to the gym, they got to do this, they got to do that, they got to do this. Limit yourself and think, what can I do? Even if you go into the gym and you actually just did 20 minutes of exercises in the gym. Yeah, it could be resistance training, it could be walking on a treadmill, it could be going on a cross trainer. 20 minutes a day is all you need. And we all know, I've been in the fire service for 26 years. We all know that we have the gym at the fire station, but it's underused by firefighters. And we do have the time to go in there. So, and make sure you take your time to go into the gym and work on the best project you've ever been given. And that's you. It's that simple. That's that simple, really. You don't have to overthink it. It's really, really simple. And then when you think about the chronic stress, um, does when you don't move. These are the things that, you got to take into consideration. Sleep, wired but tired. That's a quite common phase. You feel like you've been to bed, but you're still wired and you're still tired. These are the things that you really need to take into consideration. And you got to think about it. Mood, flat and on edge. You don't want to be on edge with your colleagues or your loved ones or your kids. That's the worst thing, because you don't want to come home and be on edge, be moody with the kids. And these are the benefits of exercising. This is what I'm saying. Like, when you exercise, the endorphin that you get, you're not going to feel flatlining on edge with your kids. And this is the most important thing that you want to take away from this presentation. Simple exercises will make the difference. Again, you want to look at focus, foggy and reactive. You don't want to. I know when you're tired, when you're not feeling yourself, you feel like foggy, reactive to everything. The slightest comment or the noisiest room that you're in, you want to tell people to shut up. I've been there, honestly. So all of these things are from first-hand experience myself, and I'm talking firsthand about someone who's experienced all of these things, and that's why it's on this presentation today. Recovered, basically emptying the tank. Recovery is important. Emptying the tank is like you're not giving yourself an option. The best project you'll ever work on is yourself. You can't pour from an empty cup. This is one of the things I always say to all of our clients. Is important that you actually make sure you don't pour from an empty cup. And again, it's important. Moving on to the next one, your brain on movement. This is what I'm saying. So you got basically the brain on movement. What you're going to think is that you got to think about the body's actually neurofunctional itself is going to elevate. Dopamine is going to elevate. And without movement, with movement, excuse me, cortisol is going to drop, which is a stress hormone, that's in your body. When you think about all of the things that it's going to elevate the benefit of movement, you don't have to go and kill yourself in the gym. You can go in a gym and just do 20 minutes on a cross trainer. Go in a gym and do 20 minutes incline walk on a treadmill, or get yourself outside. I will show you guys what you need to do in a couple of slides soon, but it's not difficult at all. Um, this is very simple. We're looking at around 150 minutes per week, which is plus like two to three strength test session, and 10 minutes walk after every meal. And the floor cannot, you don't have to think about hitting the ceiling. That's not that what we're looking at. We're looking at the basic stuff. 150 minutes per week. It's not a lot. It's not a lot. It's not a lot to ask for, and if you cannot give that, give 75 minutes a week. Start with the lowest entry level that you can give yourself, and this will help improve your mental health. Movement will help improve your mental health. I'm going to repeat that. Movement is the key. And like I said, it's the underprescribed medication, and it's going to help improve your mental health. This is the key, and I want this to understand. It's so important. Moving on. So, for movement resets your nervous system. Again, we look at that like zone 2 heart rate training. So zone 2 heart rate training is you want to be around 65% of the maximum heart rate. So your maximum heart rate is 220. Take away your age and you want to be working around, 60 to 65% of that. Aerobic base, basically incline walk on a treadmill. Again, resistance training, which is basically strength training really. Again, if you go in a gym, you could just do full body workout. Pick one exercise to do for each muscle group every time you go in there. It is that simple. You can start on the top, work your way up. You can start with chest, back, shoulders, biceps, triceps, legs, out the gym. It is that simple. You don't have to overthink it. Walking daily again. daily resets. Again, if you can walk as much as you can, 10 minutes outside. Even if you go and walk, I mean, one of the things I do at the fire station is, I take myself out, I grab a coffee when I'm working at the computer, grab a coffee, go downstairs. I don't smoke, so I go into the yard and I just walk around the yard. Just for 10 minutes, walk around the yard of the fire station. That helps me kind of reset myself. And again, breath work, it's important. Breathing, you can breathe in, box breathing is quite common for me that I use. Box breathing is you breathe in, hold for 4, breathe out for 4, inhale for 4, and breathe out. Just keep your eyes closed and keep breathing. All you need to do is do that for like 5 minutes. 5 minutes a day is all you need to do. It's so easy to do. So breath work can really, really help, really calm you down, improve your mental health, and whatever stress you're going through will help regulate your body and how it feels. Again, why most people stop training to eat food. Again, I know a lot of people think, well, I train just to eat, so I train so I can eat what I want, eat food and then train to eat what I want. You know, Regulation is important. Train to feel human. It's always important. Like, train to feel human. We know after our 30th birthday, we're losing at least 1% muscle mass. Of 1% muscle mass per year. That's 10% per decade. And the only thing that can slow that down is resistance training. So why is it so important to resistance train? Not only for your general health and well-being, but also helps your mental health and making you feel human again. This is so important. It's so important. And to start off with, this is a simple, like a breakdown that I've given you. Here's a start week. Here's a start here this week. So you could start with a 10-minute walk after every meal. One zone 2 heart rate training per week. Again, phone out of the bedroom for 1 week. 2 strength training session, 5 minutes of breathing. One day off from all of this, and this is all you need to do. Take yourself one day off from all of it, that you don't have to feel committed to it and constantly doing it. This is so important. And all I want you guys to do is believe in yourself, because the best project you'll ever work on is yourself. This is so simple. You don't have to overthink it. Just start today. Like what was the whole Chinese verb? The journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. Keep believing in yourself and start with the first step today. And your nervous system don't need motivation. It needs movement. Just remember that. It needs movement. And all you need to think about is the more you move, the better you feel. For me, I love going out for walks and I love going to the gym to train. I've just started jiu-jitsu at the age of 45 to actually start something new, to switch my brain on to learning. I hope you find a lot of benefit from the presentation I've just put together. It's a very simple presentation that I've put together, and I hope you find some great motivation from it. And you can always reach out to me. You can find me on Instagram, at Wole Adesemoye, which is WOLE, and my surname is Adesemoye, which is Adesemoye. It's all one word. If you need any help with your training, drop me a message on Instagram. I'll be more than happy to help you. God bless you. Believe in yourself and know that your best is still yet to come.